Hello, everybody, and welcome to Afro EPL. The international break is well and truly on. Teams have been participating in World Cup qualifiers, and there have been a couple of our EPL players who have performed really well with their nations, and I just thought a quick video to cover that. But before I talk about any of that, I need to address something that has really grind my gears. Start the Mati of Kinshasa. Why on earth do we turn football into destruction? Why on earth do we shoot ourselves in the foot as a people? Why on earth do we always want to highlight and portray activities that will drag us down? It hurts when you lose a football game. It hurts. You get frustrated. You get angry. But to channel that to destruction and carnage, destroying your own facility, is not good enough. It doesn't matter how angry you are. Why on earth will people decide, I am so angry with losing a game, a beautiful game of football, but I will turn around and I'm going to rip off chairs from the stadium. I'm going to chuck them down. I'm going to rip up, just tear the place down. What good does that do to us as a people? What good does that do to your team? What good does that do to anyone? Somebody try to make it make sense for me, because that has grind my gears like crazy. Ruining a beautiful game of football, ruining a beautiful spectacle. All we had to do right today was just to sit back and talk about how brilliant that football game was. But no, everyone is focused on how crazy and how those vandals decided to destroy a stadium that was built and commemorated for people who died for a cause, a good cause, people who gave their lives, people who were killed for freedom, for peace. Why would we find ourselves destroying the very thing that we have as people? I cannot understand that. Somebody help me make it make sense. Anyway, the football game by itself, the football game was a classic. I mean, I made a preview and I was thinking that would be the blockbuster, and boy, it was. I actually thought DR Congo had a chance. Maybe there's just a part of me that I just don't want Senegal to dominate forever and ever because it looks like that. 23 games without losing. You can't beat that, can you? No, you can't beat that. They are on fire. They have the personnel. They have the structure. And they have a great coach who makes good calls at good times. Now, the DR Congo team started really well. 2 goals up. Yohan Wissa scored the second goal. And we're thinking, I was thinking, my prediction is going to... Ooh. And then Senegal was like, hold my beer. Hold my beer. I've got something to sort out. I'll be right back. And they just turned up the screw. And the moment they scored the first goal and made it 2-1, I knew it. I knew DR Congo will crumble. And crumble they did. A fantastic performance from Diaye. Iliman Diaye is another thing. He is exceptional. The way he controls the ball, the way he drives with the ball, the way he is unplayable at this point in time. I don't think there is another African player who is in such great form. He changed that game. He literally went, like, hold up, guys, let's make this work. He was absolutely unstoppable. Iliman Diaye was great. And then we also had a goal from Papsa, continuing his great form from Tottenham. He came in and scored the winning goal. Great football. Senegal are, I think these guys were going to make another history this World Cup. I stick my head down. I said there will be an African team in the semi-finals of the World Cup, and that team will be Senegal next year. I said it. Yes, I did. So, fantastic game of football, ruined by some cretins. Anyway, let's crack on. Very quickly, we had South Africa against Nigeria. Again, the pitch was not good. I mean, it doesn't matter what you say. And that's unacceptable. We shouldn't be playing, and we as a continent should not be playing football in such a pitch. But anyway, it's a good game. Lyle Foster put the Nigerian team under enormous pressure, I think. Honestly, Lyle Foster was all over the Nigerian defense. In fact, I think the pressure he put caused Ekong to score that goal, or to do that on goal. I think it was because of the pressure that Lyle Foster was putting. So he did really well. Again, the equalizer for Nigeria came from a towering header. I think Calvin Bassey literally he headed the ball, handed the ball, he was over everybody like that high. And then he scored a good goal, but a good cross, and he just attacked the ball and he just crushed everyone on his way. So yeah, it ended 1-1. We also had some other games. We have Zimbabwe against Rwanda. Munitsi and Chiwera were on the losing end of that game because the Warriors of Zimbabwe ended up losing to Rwanda, which was I was thinking they would do better than they did. We had Burkina Faso against Egypt. There's Les Etalons de Burkina Faso against the Pharaohs. I was imagining that game also would be a good one, but it was flat. It was really flat. Again, that was there was just nothing. Mo Salah was quiet. And yeah, it was just one of those games where you just go, okay, there's nothing really much to write home about. And it ended 0-0. DR Congo against Senegal, we've covered that. Gabon against Ivory Coast, Amat and Sangare. Again, it's one of those games where there's really not much to cry to write home about. It ended 0-0. And then of course, Cameroon only had to go to Cape Verde and lose to Cape Verde. Cape Verde will be in the World Cup. They barely have 1 million people. Do they even? Let me know in the comment section. I don't think Cape Verde has a population of 1 million. I don't think so. But they have a team. They don't lose a football game. They are solid. So we went there and we were just taught a lesson. And Cameroon has to use the long route around trying to get to the World Cup. So it's just horrible. Right. So let me know your comments. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section. I want to know your thoughts, especially around that very horrible. That thing is really, really getting me upset. What happened to the Stade de Martyrs, Kinshasa? It's doing my head in. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your feelings. Let me know what your take has been for this international break. Hopefully we will be back to our English Premier League fixtures over the weekend, and we are going to be making more videos to cover some of the very interesting things that happen with our internationals. Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for watching. Hope to speak to you shortly. Have a blessed day. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. Asante. Bye.